Hey, what's going on YouTube? So I just want to bring you guys a real quick, this is basically as I see it video. This is no notes, no specs, no slides, no nothing, but real quick, there's just a ton of stuff I want to talk about. And I'm gonna go over it all real fast, give you my opinion. If you want to tell me I'm wrong down below or argue with one another, that's always fun. So here we go. First up, Xbox One X, the Scorpio edition, you know, the kind of the day one edition is sold out. I was all over this. I wanted to pre-order this thing. I've been asking around, you know, Xbox and PC channel. I've sold my Xbox a while ago because, again, my eyes were screwed up. I couldn't play, so I had no need for it, but I really want the Xbox One X. I did a video, like an hour-long video, about how, you know, it's the biggest gap in technology we've seen possibly in the history of home consoles, at least as far as the two, you know, top consoles are concerned, the PS4 Pro versus the Xbox One X. The gap there is something that we haven't seen in the home console generation space since probably the Xbox, the first Xbox and the PlayStation 2, just in terms of the difference that you're going to have in a user experience when playing games or watching movies or whatever you're doing on those two boxes. It's going to be drastically different, dramatically better than what you're going to find on the PS4 Pro using the Xbox One X. And we've seen a lot of games at Gamescom running in native 4K resolution with better frame rates, super high quality, high resolution textures, better texture filtering, greater anti-aliasing, greater, you know, particle effects. Everything in terms of gameplay is better. And again, you know, your overall media experience, device control, you know, media aggregation in terms of the, you know, the HDMI throughput. So, you know, not having to change inputs on your TV. It's sold out, and that's why. It's going to be a phenomenal box and really equivalent. You guys may agree with this, you may not, but in my opinion, you're going to see graphics equivalent to a very high-end PC, something along the lines of a PC sporting a GTX 1080 or even 1080 Ti type of graphics on this box. And for $500, that includes the CPU, the motherboard, the RAM, the graphics card, an ultra high definition Blu-ray player with you know, features that we can't even get on PC today, period, such as pardon me, HDMI 2.1 using variable refresh rate technology. FreeSync 2 should be amazing on that box. Dolby Atmos support, and there's going to be a ton of optimization. You're going to see graphics that are on par with the very high-end PC, and with the GPU market being what it is right now, with GPU miners, you know, inflating the cost of all of our GPUs, it's going to be a phenomenal value for people who want to get in there and play games. It's super high resolution, super, you know, ultra settings, almost max settings, or even better than that in certain circumstances where they can optimize for that exact piece of hardware. But it should be phenomenal. I'm going to try and get in on pre-orders of a regular Xbox One X before it's released. I think it's November 7th. But anyway, those are sold out. It should be an awesome product. Moving on, Intel, you know, they're trying to leak information or trying to shed light on the fact that they do have new CPUs coming because the Ryzen CPUs have been selling hand over fist and they're losing market share. So they're saying, hey, you know, sometime in the near future, we're going to release our actual 8th generation architecture CPUs, Coffee Lake to the desktop, SOC 1151 version 2. So, you know, Series 3 chipsets, all new motherboards, and you guys that have SOC 1151 version 1 or whatever with a Series 1 or 2 chipset, you're screwed on that. You can't upgrade. You got to upgrade the entire platform once again. But they're showing good numbers. Performance-wise, you're seeing great single-thread performance. So they got really good boost clocks. You're seeing even really good multi-core scores with only 6 cores and probably be priced right around AMD's 8-core Ryzen offerings in the mainstream market. With that being said, I personally would not buy one of those chips. unless you're buying for the short term. If you're buying for the short term and you know you're one of those people that likes to get technology, as it comes out and just have the best that you can, it could be a situation where if you get one of those chips, especially if you overclock it, you could have phenomenal performance in the short term in the mainstream market without having to go to socket 2066 or something like that. But you'd get really good single-threaded performance, so gaming performance. You're going to get really good multi-core performance, having 12 threads on those higher-end, Core i7 Coffee Lake CPUs. The one thing I worry about with Intel's entire product lineup from top to bottom, and this started off with like Skylake X and Kaby Lake X on socket 2066, is power consumption. I've seen a 10-core 7900X consume over 400 watts overclocked under, at full load. And that's very, very, very concerning, especially considering they're bringing now double the cores to the ultra low 15 watt TDP, like Ultrabook market. And those are not Coffee Lake 8th generation Core I architecture. Those are the same architecture that you're going to find in a regular Kaby Lake chip, which double the cores. It's going to be very interesting to see if they can actually maintain and stay under their TDP, their quoted TDP numbers really throughout their entire product stack. But it's particularly important in the mobile market because you have to worry about power consumption because of battery life. So I'm interested to see how they fare on that. I don't think they're intentionally really trying to avoid providing any kind of clarity to customers or consumers that the 8th generation of ultra low power CPUs isn't really an 8th generation architecture. It's just a rebrand, and AMD and nVidia do it all the time, and I personally can't stand it because it really does cause confusion amongst consumers, and especially people who aren't tuned into channels like this, that don't look up information, go into a store and they think they're getting the latest generation architecture or whatever. And in the case of Intel's, again, ultra low power 8th generation CPUs, they're 7th generation CPUs rebranded for 8th generation. Now you get double the cores, a little bit more cache, so it's great. I can't wait. I'm super stoked to just period from AMD or nVidia, nVidia. If they want to make a chip for this, that's great too. But Intel going to start providing 4-core, 8-thread, ultra low power, SoCs, APUs, CPUs, whatever you want to call them, for those super small, thin form factor, 2-in-1s, Surface Pro type tablets, etc. And that's going to be awesome. I want to see what AMD has coming up with Raven Ridge Mobile, sporting, 4 Vega cores, 8 threads. 4 Zen cores, 8 threads, Vega graphics. I think the graphics will probably be a little bit better on the AMD mobile chips. I think that the CPU performance will probably be a bit better for the Intel mobile chips. But again, I really want to see if, Intel seems to be lowering super low. They're trying to work within these TDPs they've set for themselves on these different platforms, and they're lowering their base clock down to like, I've seen as low as like 1.7 gigahertz, 1.6 gigahertz, numbers we haven't heard of in 10 years. They're so low, but they've got great boosting technology. Now, whether they're able to sustain those higher boost clocks, especially on multiple cores or all cores that are available for, a prolonged period of time, that's what I'm curious about. And something that frankly, until Coffee Lake, the actual 8th generation, arrives to the desktop later this year, we're not going to really know if that's going to be more efficient than Ryzen in terms of just IPC, clock for clock, core for core, whatever. But right now, the AMD Ryzen CPUs are more efficient than what Intel can offer with Kaby Lake or Skylake X or whatever. And so we're going to see how that pans out in this ultra low power 8th generation Intel CPU lineup here very soon. And those should be, I think, in market and in consumers' hands sometime in September, those Ultrabooks. I'm looking forward to seeing what those actually do. But other than that, you got the Vega, GPUs that were just released. Vega 56 is really competitive with the GTX 1070 out of the gate. The 64, liquid-cooled 64, I don't think those really are a phenomenal value, especially right now with GPU miners. Again, the GPU prices for AMD and nVidia cards are out of control. But I will say you've got the PS4 Pro, which has fast math built into it, one of the features of Vega architecture, and that may help developers to kind of use that technology, that software development tool to kind of help performance of future titles using the Vega architecture. And you've also got things like new tiled resources, the way that the rendering kind of works within Vega, and I think those are also implemented in the Xbox One X, those features. So you may see the consoles, the newer consoles, and development for those consoles kind of uplift the performance of Vega for future titles, and you certainly see that Vega is more efficient and performs better relative to its nVidia counterparts in next generation APIs, Vulkan, DX12, etc. And driver optimization will get better and better. AMD right now has got a really full plate. I mean, they've got pod releases every week. It seems like they're coming out with a new product. So their software development teams, the people that are writing the code, updating the code for their CPUs and their GPUs and their drivers, etc., are very, very busy, but that code will get better. And as developers begin to optimize for features found in the PS4 Pro, features found in the Xbox One X, and also for Vega on the desktop, that performance will get better and better, and hopefully this GPU mining craze eventually will go away. I wish people would just use their GPUs for gaming and for trying to give to good causes or whatever, but people out there want to make money. I can't blame them for that either, but I just wish it wouldn't impact our GPU prices so much. And realistically, this holiday, if GPU prices stay the way they are, out of control like this, you'd be better off buying an Xbox One X if you want to play super high-end PC, ultra setting 4K graphics on your TV for $500. You won't be able to do that with the PC for that much money, anywhere close to that much money. Now, PC has a lot of advantages, such as free online. It's got a lot more utility and functionality than an Xbox, One X ever will. But it's unlikely you're going to build a PC with an ultra high definition Blu-ray player. Again, you can't get HDMI 2.1. Dolby Atmos support is uncommon for most integrated sound chips on most motherboards. You've got other features in there like the IR blaster for device control and again, media aggregation. So should be a phenomenal living room experience, if nothing else. And what else did I want to cover today? I'm not really sure, but again, that's all I got time for. So that's some stuff for you guys to talk about or argue about down below. Hope you guys have a phenomenal weekend. If you want me to deep dive in any of this stuff, let me know what you want me to deep dive into, because I only have so much time, and I want to cover the material, especially the in-depth stuff that you want to see. And I want to spend my time, my effort, bringing you guys information that you want to see. So just let me know down below if you want more, deep dive on Vega, future optimizations and software, etc., and why that will occur. If you want, more information about the Xbox One X, if you want more information about upcoming CPUs, which I intend to cover, as well as some other stuff I've kind of got in the works, just let me know what you want to see. And other than that, guys, again, hope you're doing great. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.